Kindred Longevity Lifestyle Designers. This is Zach here. It is Q&A Sunday, and just off the bat I want to mention that I've noticed that sometimes people will ask questions or make comments on some of my videos, and I don't get notified about them. For some reason, at the amount of videos I have right now on YouTube, it's almost like there's a filtering system where only certain comments actually get I only get notified of certain ones. So if you're asking a question and you really want to answer, your best bet is to personally email me or ask the question on my blog, or PM, personal message me on YouTube or Facebook for that matter. And we've got some questions today, and two of them. One's a couple in one, but we'll just start by addressing the first one, which is from Loving Choice. Asks, what's my opinion on Burdock Root? And I have not a ton of experience using Burdock Root, but I've used it to a certain extent. I've read about it. I'm studying it right now a bit with one of the courses I'm taking. And it is the root of burdock, which is that plant you know so well because the little burrs get stuck to your clothes if you're walking through a field, if you happen to live in areas where it grows. It really likes sort of scrubby, almost like gravel pits. It can also grow quite easily in a variety of other locations. But yeah, I think it's a fantastic herb to use in certain instances. It's definitely not a tonic herb. You can't use it for long periods of time. But the root, which is known as gobo in Japanese, which is eaten like a vegetable. I'm not sure if they eat it on a regular basis. It would be interesting to look to see what the effects they get from it if they do consume it on a daily basis, because everything I've read says it's a medicinal herb, meaning you don't want to take it for too long a period of time. However, I personally was taking it from one of my herbalists I see when a number of years back I had really severe eczema on my face as a result of a cleansing I was going through, a pretty intense cleansing that was occurring from having lived in the city for a short period of time and got a little toxic. And yeah, I found it very much beneficial. It helped clear up the eczema, along with sarsaparilla that I personally harvested from my cottage. I have a cottage, a family cottage that I go to in the summer quite regularly. We call it Blueberry Island. And actually this summer I'd like to take some footage up there because there's a number of amazing herbs up there. You've got tons of pine trees, and there's all sorts of beneficial things you can collect from a pine tree. We've got sarsaparilla up there. There are various lichens and juniper, and of course we've got wild blueberries growing right on our island. It's amazing there. But yeah, burdock root, back on topic here. Yeah, it's a blood purifier, it's a blood builder, it has a lot of iron, and then the rest of the plant, the burdock leaves, have similar properties as well. Overall, the plant is very cooling. It helps remove and disperse excess fire or excessive yang energy in the body. So it's very beneficial for anyone with a lot of excess heat or heat-type diseases that are known in traditional medicinal practices. Also, burdock root is about 45% inulin, which is a long-chain sugar, which some people have heard about from some more popular foods like yacon root syrup and other things. And it is able to provide a food for the good bacteria in your digestive system. So it can actually be a beneficial sweetener without the negative effects of raising blood sugar, because it's actually not even metabolized as sugar. It just goes through our body, but then feeds our good bacteria in the gut. So the next question is from another viewer on YouTube, and she's asking a few different things. She's wondering about the sun and how much sunlight we need. And this has been addressed by a few different people. I guess different people have different opinions about it. I personally think that, yes, we should not be using sunscreen, definitely not. It's a wide variety of toxins found in sunscreens. If you want to know more about toxins in skincare products, you can go to cosmeticsdatabase.com, and they provide sort of like reviews on a whole wide range of different products, from beauty products to skincare to sunscreens, and they tell you what's in them, and they sort of have a grading system of how toxic they are or not. It's great resource. But basically, if you can't eat it, don't put it on your skin. That's a very basic or fundamental rule that I personally go by. And yeah, in terms of how much sunlight you need to make adequate amounts of vitamin D, which is essential for immune function and long-term health. Depending on the time of year, obviously in the winter it's going to be more difficult for you to get as much exposure to the sun if you're living in a colder climate, like myself. Roughly 3 times a week, if you can get 15 minutes of sun exposure to a large area of your body, like just go out in the winter with your shirt off. This is also a great way to acclimatize your body to the colder temperatures, which is very good for your health as well. Obviously, if you're so difficult to do that, then I wouldn't recommend forcing yourself to do that because it's a shock to the system. And in that case, I'd recommend, if you're not able to get those 3 sets of at least 15 minutes of sun exposure, you can take a vegetarian source of vitamin D. I definitely don't recommend the fish-derived vitamin D. Those have been shown to be toxic, and a lot of the fish oils that people are touting are very rancid and just no good for the body, which has been shown a lot by the research at the Hippocrates Health Institute. They just see like this crap floating in people's bloodstreams, and a lot of the time it's this vitamin D. So yeah, you want vitamin D3 is better than D2, but D2 can still work, even though there's people out there saying don't take any vitamin D2. But vitamin D2 from like shiitake mushrooms, sunflower sprouts, lemongrass are all great sources of vitamin D. But you can also get a vegetarian D3 now from Vitamin Code, and it's actually very affordable. Obviously it's a little pricier than your cheap little crap vitamin D3 you can get at the health food store. That's made from like toxic fish guts or something. But yeah, just search that out. It's definitely more affordable than some of the vitamin D2 plant-based raw vitamins. So yeah, we're always juggling like quality over price and these things, but the Vitamin Code product I think is a very good one. The next question, she's asking about omega-6 to omega-3 oils. Good sources, what's the balance, etc. What's the concern with inflammation, and the whole omega-6, omega-3 hoopla that's going on. Our body is mostly omega-6 oils in terms of the structure of our cells. It's about, people are saying like 3 to 1, 4 to 1 ratio. It's actually more like 11 to 1 in terms of what we should be consuming, or you could go by 10 to 1 as a pretty nice round number. The problem that in society is people are getting tons of rancid omega-6s. It's a very heat-sensitive oil, so you don't want to be cooking it or getting it from processed sources like the corn oil, soy oil, safflower oil, and canola oil. These all have omega-6s in them and they're rancid, or cooked or toasted nuts and seeds. That's destroying and making these oils rancid and carcinogenic. So yeah, when you're getting raw, whole, and vibrant omega-6s from hemp seed, various seed oils, and even avocados and olive oil have some, it's a lot better for the body, and you don't have to be so concerned about the inflammatory factor of it if you're also getting some omega-3s. So yeah, we know omega-3s are chia, hemp also, and a wide variety of other sources. Definitely don't recommend flax, though. Flax oil is very strongly phytoestrogenic, and that in and of itself has other negative properties to it. And as for the amount of oil you want to be consuming, that's really a personal, exploratory matter. You need to find out how well you digest oils. Some people can eat more fat than others. Obviously you don't want to be overdoing fat, because over the long term that's going to have problems in and of itself. Now, the other question was about allergies, and the best thing for allergies is liver cleansing and just playing with your diet. I'm not an expert on that, because it's definitely something you'd want to find an expert to learn more about. One thing I'll do is I'll link to a past video right here of Brian Clement talking about how you can determine food allergies just through keeping a diary, or a daily food diary, and that's one thing you can look into doing if you want to keep costs low. Just search on the internet for complimentary health practitioners that specialize in allergies, and really just pay attention to your diet. Don't eat the things you know cause you problems, and good luck with addressing that issue. And as always, ask your questions, send them in, and I'll answer them in next week's Q&A.